Okay, I'm just checking the chat to make sure there's any more comments. I went to go into different sources where I link the Discord. Well, Discord is one of the websites that I actually use, but StreamYard because I wanted to see what other people are saying if they want to join the live chat. Okay. All right, so I guess I'll just continue on. So yeah, it has been more so of an issue for me because I think we need to stop putting such expectations out for people. And when I say this, I mean it can go for any community, it can go for any sort of branch, but usually there's always a negative connotation when it comes to like a man who acts very feminine. And it's like, oh, they're not manly enough for you. They're not manly enough for the people. And like, I know a lot of people who are metrosexual, and metrosexual just means a heterosexual male who acts very feminine, which sort of relates to me. And it's more so of this idea of a person who does not act in a way that you may assume to be that. Like a lot of people who see a metrosexual will think that they're gay, but they're not gay at all. And this whole idea of, oh, if the person turns out to be gay, then we should treat them negatively, or we should treat them worse, or we should stay far clear from them. It's this whole negative perception idea. I think it relates really back to homophobia. I think that's where the ultimatum stands for. It stands for going back to homophobia and relating to this negative outlook of the sissy boy, or the feminine man, or whatever. I think that is the reason why. I think that is a big issue, and that is something that we just have to just stop. As if we're trying to progress from 2020 and onward, we need to start respecting more people, and we need to start elevating more people. We need to start becoming more considerate of other people's expressions. And I think that is the reason why people like to uphold to these bigoted standards, because they don't want to change. They want things to stay the same as it did in the 1940s, 1950s, 1960s. Hell, some people want segregation back. So it's all about what people feel the most comfortable with. And that is exactly why I have a big issue with when it comes down to the manhood code. Because I think to be a man, there's so many aspects towards it. Well, nowadays, as you know, there is the transgendered culture, and what that means is that there are people who are not biologically born with a pretty much the genitals that they define themselves to be. Um, Basically, if you're born with a penis, there are changes with a person where they can physically alter their bodies to portray themselves in the gender that they want to become. So if you're born a male, if you're born with a penis, you can transition yourself to a female. And likelihood, if you're born with a vagina, you can transition yourself to a man. And my aspect towards this is that when they transition themselves, and when they go to this whole, let's talk about the female to male transition. When they're transforming themselves into the gender that they desire and that they want to become, are they necessarily becoming um the gender, or they becoming the person of the male aspect that they want to portray themselves? So is there masculine traits that they're portraying themselves to transition themselves into, or is it necessarily is being a man is just strictly masculine? Because I found that to be kind of false. I think for manhood it's very broad, because to have manhood doesn't necessarily mean to be overtly masculine. It could be feminine too, because males can be both feminine and masculine. So it gets really deep. I'm very supportive of trans rights. I think that people should be whatever they want to be, and as long as it's not hurting anyone, you can easily become whatever you want to be. It's no big issue. But at the same time, I'm just curious to see if masculinity and femininity can allude to what is defined to be a man and a woman, and especially with masculinity. Is masculinity strictly man for men? And if it's that, is it strictly manhood? Or is it like is it something that involves just something greater than that? So, I mean, I'm just from what I see, it seems like you have to be masculine or doing something that's overtly masculine to be defined as like you're a man, you're this, you're that. But if you are if you're not in that category, you're labeled as a feminine sissy boy or relating to women. So it's kind of degrading in that sense, not just to men but also to women, because that means that we're viewing them less, and that's an issue, that's a problem, and I think that is something that we need to take in consideration if we're trying to progress ourselves to a higher level of thinking, and just getting on that bigoted lane and just trying to become better than that. So I think we need to first stop and listen and think. um, and getting back to the transgender community, I think what they want is the definite, in my personal opinion, this is what I believe. I think for going from the female to male aspect, they themselves, like especially the people who transition to that, they really what they want to do is they think in their minds that the male aspect is masculinity, and they want to emulate that, and that's their goal, that's their end goal, that's what they want to do. They see the male aspect, which is the masculinity aspect, and they attribute it to males. So rather than when they see themselves as a boy, what they're really seeing is gender roles, and this is where the whole point of male and female gender. Now my biggest issue is that when we do gender roles, what exactly gender can consist of? If you're consistent based off of masculinity and femininity, then what you're really doing is you're basically saying, hey, guess what? Masculinity is for males and femininity is for females. And that's what you're doing. And you're proposing that outlook, and you're going with that ideology. And if you believe in that, okay, that's perfectly fine. I have no issues with it. But I would challenge you for that opinion, because their femininity, it goes femininity itself, it's completely, it's derived from a social construct perception of what females are supposed to. There's a whole history when it comes to femininity, because it's not just for females, it actually comes from males. But the whole term feminine was derived from females because of how females were treated by males during the ancient days, because and especially in coming from cultures that derive from pre-Christianity. Oh, someone is here. Kevin, what up? What up? What up? What up?
Hey, what's going on? I just got home.
Yes, yes. Oh, you did? Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, I'm now I don't have to talk to myself here. So, yeah, I was talking about like what is your definitive reason for what manhood is? Like, what do you think manhood to you is? The manhood code.
Manhood Code. I've never even heard of that before, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, this is something new.
All I know is you get cold every single now and then, sneezing a lot. That's all I know is man cold.
I think that applies to everyone. Yeah, I think more so with people. I think, well, basically, it's like a politically correct term for like masculinity or something, and that's like I was like the manhood code. I'm like, what the fuck the manhood code is? And they were talking about it. They were saying that it has to do with like what a man is, or what how a man should act like, if that makes sense.
Like
Like if you don't follow, yeah, if you don't follow that kind of, then you're not a real man. If you act a little bit feminine, then you may be a sissy boy, or or a sissy man, and they'll say these kind of things because they have an expectation. It's just it's like a friendly term for, there I go, say it, hypermasculinity. Yeah, yeah. That's exactly what it is. So it's that kind of it's that kind of terminology that I wanted to discuss because I want to hear other people's opinions on it. So I figured, well, that was a good time to talk about it. I'm not babysitting yet, but I figure this may be a good time for me to actually use the opportunity and discuss about it. So that's so now that you understand.
Religion, if you don't believe in that religion, they'll criticize you.
Yeah, well, see, and see, that's another aspect. See, with religion, now then you get into the whole aspect of what's they bring up Sodom and Gomorrah and this whole idea of if you're overtly feminine, or if you don't act in that sort of way that you have to be like the gladiator warrior esque kind of person, then they'll attribute you to like you're gonna be burned in hell, you're gonna be condemned, God hates you if you act a little bit feminine, you're supposed to be masculine all the time. I mean, there's nothing wrong with masculinity, and like I said, I'm in the middle. So it's all about how people are. Like if you use religion, don't you realize that if you believe that God loves you for who you are, then
Yeah,
nothing should ever matter? Like, I don't
yeah.
understand how people who use that
He
argument
forgives you,
for.
but you try not to do the exact same thing.
Huh?
He forgives you all the time, so he still loves you who you are. He created you in his own image.
Exactly. And there's people who like to use the arguments that, oh, because a person, for example, if you may showcase your body, or you may I guess whore yourself, if that's a proper way to say it. I would say more so of exploit your nudity or your assets. You're suddenly a Satanist demon, or all these other negative aspects. So it's crazy. And these are the same people who are religious, who say these kinds of just bigoted statements, and then they want to think that their statements hold some water, and it's crazy.
But I do agree with the Christian side of not liking what they do, but
Hmm.
they can't. That's the thing. We can't control what they do. So,
Exactly.
in a Christian aspect from it, if you see somebody like a gay, lesbian, or whatever do what they want to do, they can do, but we can't control what they want to do.
Exactly. And I listen. I'm a person that is just respectful of other people's um opinions, and that they're entitled to that. And I think that's the one thing that we cannot do, especially if you're a liberal. You cannot force people to change for your ideologies. Okay, that's something that you cannot do, because you wouldn't like it if it's the other way of the spectrum, where they do the same thing to you. I mean, it wouldn't be right. So we can't do that to other people. And I think that we should always be entitled to other people's opinions. Like, we should always let them have that entitlement. But it's nothing wrong with challenging it. Nothing wrong with debating with other people for it. But at the same time, we should always be considerate of
Just
other people's.
just
Yeah.
like even it out a little bit,
Huh?
like even it out.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. 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 Yeah. So.
a lot of people don't like it, a lot of people do like it. That's even in between.
Hmm. I think a lot of people want to force they believe, or my favorite part is when they believe there's some sort of agenda going on, and a feminist. Oh, I'm so glad we brought this up. So some people believe that like there's some.
Uh,
Ooh, you want to bring him? You want to go for this one?
it's up to you. It's your stream. I don't
Okay,
lead, please.
I'm just letting you know because I don't want another MJ scenario.
I would tell him not to say anything.
Okay, well, listen. Okay, I'm gonna put this very discreetly, and I'm going to say this because this is an open forum, and if you're entitled to say what you have to say, um, this debate is very open. So I'm not blocking anyone, and I'm not censoring anybody. So you're free to speak your opinion and your views and what you have to say. But this is not a game of trying to bond. This is a game of just two opposing views or two different views.
Opinions.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm also gonna say this: if you don't like the other person's presence there, then you have to first then just don't watch it. And yeah, exactly. That's what I do. If I don't like the other person being in that other person's stream, I'm just not going to watch it. I'm just going to be like, okay, I love you, ZTB, but I'm just not going to do it for you. This is just not the video that I'm going to support, but I'll support your other videos. And that's that, that's the only thing. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Dragon Zeonite to the stream because this is the one topic where I actually want to hear his personal perspective.
I sent him an invite to the chat in the live stream.
Okay.
Here to
okay.
About it.
Okay, so I'm gonna invite Dragon Zeonite to the stream, and then we can have another opposing opinion.
No drama.
No, this isn't any drama. This is actually what I wanted. I actually wanted to do this. I wanted to have like a debate where people can voice their opinions and their discussions, and this is what I want for this channel. Yeah. I shamed them in the past, but that's just, I deleted those content because I wanted to do a fresh reboot, and I wanted to have other people, have something positive to say. And if they have something negative to say, that's cool. I'm not going to do trolling videos anymore. So.
Well, it is over 16. So.
Huh?
This is over 16, so.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
No, it's
over 18 if you get what I mean.
Unless your parents allow it.
Yeah. Shit, most kids play Call of Duty, Black Ops all the time, and that's rated mature. And they're 10. They're 10 years old. They're 10 years old. Okay, so the link is there, Arthur. You can easily join if you want. I actually want to hear your opinion on this topic about the manhood code or about masculinity. Or let's get even further. Let's talk about the gay agenda, since that is really where it can all lead up to, because I want to hear your perspective on it. So the link is there. I'll wait until you join Arthur.
I ain't a big fan of gay or lesbians, but I do respect them.
You don't see the link? It should be there.
I'll have to send it through Skype. That's the only way you're going to do it.
Okay, send it through Skype. And I'll wait. I'm going to drink my Pepsi. Hold on.
I just drank the Pepsi myself. Let me guess, Sherry Pepsi. Cherry.
I'm so jealous. You got the cherry Pepsi? Oh, Sherry. Okay, Arthur. He's going to send you the link, and then from there you can join, and you can be part of the chat. Yeah.
Well, I do respect the gay and lesbian, the LBG community, what they go through, but I'm not I don't like what they do. That's my opinion, but
yeah. Right, and I understand that you have your perspective, and it's mostly from a religious perspective, because it invalidates what you believe in and what you go for, and thus it conflicts with that. It's something that you don't support, and I fully understand that. See, very all right. Okay, Dragon Zeonite, we're gonna talk about a few things, and this is a oh, you have yourself on speaker. I can hear myself there.
Yeah. Sorry
okay.
I don't have my headphone on.
Okay, no problem. So we're going to talk about a few things. The first thing we talk about is the manhood code, and what do you define a man as? And then right after that, we're going to talk about what exactly your opinion is on the whole gay agenda thing. So first, what do you think the manhood code is? What do you define to be a man in your personal opinion?
Let me see. Oh wow, I did not think that exactly. I just got here and let me see.
Neither did I when I came in here, so
Let me see, manhood. Ooh, that's a tough one. I didn't even think about that myself. Let me see. I think manhood exactly is like when you start working and then get your own place and take things more serious. Like it's okay to do video games a little here and there, but take it more on a serious level. You know,
It feels like a manhood is like a personal space.
yes, it is.
What about expression? Like, so you don't believe that manhood involves masculinity? What about that? Like, do you think that you have to be a masculine person to be considered, to be manhood?
I really didn't think about that at all. I mean, if you're trying to show emotion and be yourself, being a man, well, I don't have an issue with it.
So what if you're very in touch with your feminine side? Would that like Prince, for example, the singer Prince? He's very
Yeah.
feminine. So do you consider him to be part of the manhood aspect?
It's really hard to say because I really didn't think on that. Like literally, I didn't think about that at all. But I mean, I guess not. It's really hard to say.
And why don't you don't consider Prince to be like in that part of aspect?
Because he became feminine. He didn't act like a man. Should I put it? I,
Okay. So that's what I wanted to hear from you. So you said a man. So in your definition, a man would be someone who is like overtly masculine. Like that, would that be a man to you? So you think that male should be masculine to be considered a real man, and female should be very feminine to be a real woman. Is that your definition of it?
I guess you could say that. Not trying to say that to make
Mhm.
anybody upset or nothing.
No, I
You
suppose this is why we're here, because we want to hear different perspectives and
Yeah,
opinions.
you are here to your own opinion. Well, I got my opinion as well.
Oh
Right,
yeah,
right,
good point.
right. I know there's people who would disagree and say that a woman is defined between all accounts of a woman can be very masculine and not be considered a butch or a lesbian. They can still
Oh,
be straight and still be very masculine. Maybe that's just what like they define themselves as. They attribute masculinity to themselves because it's something that they grew up as and it's something they see themselves as. But they can still like the opposite sex. They can still like men. So same thing with like Prince loves to wear women's clothing and just dress very feminine, but he still likes vagina. So I mean, it all depending on freedom of expression. I think in my personal opinion, your expression does not validate your sexuality. And this is where we get into the second topic, which is the whole gay agenda. So, do you believe that if men start acting very feminine, there's an agenda to convert people to being gays? Is that Do you believe in something like that?
It's definitely yeah. I mean, because if they've been pushing this for a long time, well, yeah. I mean, I'm not against gay people. Like, I like to keep my distance, but yeah, there is an agenda. They've been pushing it for years, but
I
uh,
think it's majority of temptation as well because if you are a gay right approach you touching all your body, it's tempting you to go to game mode. If you know what I mean.
But see, as a straight person, if you're secure with your sexuality, why do you feel like there's any sort of temptation? If you're a secure person, and you know what you like, you know what your body gets, erect to, why would temptation be a factor? Because you're not gonna get turned on by it, even if you are tempted.
I will get
Tempted.
tempted. I will get tempted. I'm thinking of other people that are not
mhm.
like other people around this world may get tempted by it.
You mean
oh,
you mean like other people may feel like another man may come on to them, or another straight man would
Yeah,
think that another gay guy would come on to them. But why
yeah.
would they be so afraid of that? I mean, if you have good looks, it's understandably so. If the person is homosexual and you're good and you have a good look to you, you should understand that yes, you are going to get hit on, regardless whether you're male or female. I mean, that's just the basic understanding of that.
that's true.
Yeah,
Completely
but
true.
what if you're not say you're gay?
Hmm.
What do you mean by that?
and you get tempted by and you become gay. I'm just like a question.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that what if you haven't had any gay experience, but yet you are tempted by other people to exhibit or exude homosexual tendencies? Is that what you're trying to
Yes,
say?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Then you're not. Then you're not straight.
that's what
Exactly.
You're bi-curious because that you just haven't had that experience yet because you've been living a very what you call it a heteronormative life where you feel like you must emulate the aspect of straightness in order to be more secure in your society, and that's more of an internal struggle, with someone who wants to be straight but at the same time knows that they can be easily swayed by a wang. So, you know, and I'm speaking
Exactly.
from the male's perspective. So,
Oh,
so
I know the reason. I know the reason I didn't see the link. You got me blocked.
oh,
that's
I am. Okay.
that's the reason I didn't see the link.
uh,
Oh, okay.
I don't have you blocked you, but you don't. I don't see your message and you don't see mine. So
Yeah. It's. I don't think I don't think I have you. I think I only have you blocked on my main channel, not this one.
That's
I
weird.
am. I
Yeah.
don't block anyone on YouTube.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay, I'm just testing it out to make because Ghost taught me how to do this with Streamer where you can double click on it and then you can yeah,
Oh, I was
yeah,
actually there in Ghost Stream.
yeah. Ghost taught me about that. So I was like, oh, okay, let me try it out, see how that works.
Yeah.
And now I can see it. Okay. Yeah, so Arthur, you mentioned keep your distance. So what exactly about that what you mean by keep your distance away? Like what is that supposed to mean?
I don't like to be. What's the word? I don't like to be too close to people exactly. If they tries to do anything towards me, it's like that. So I like to keep like
So
my.
so you assume that if they hit on you that you just don't want to be around them, but well, why would you feel insecure about that if that's the case?
I like to keep my distance, like not like too far, but like make sure like they don't try anything. That's why I've
So
been
you're
like
assuming that people may rape you?
not like would try to hit on me exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, but like if you're a secure, like I flirt, like let me tell you something. I pretend to flirt with people, but it doesn't mean I want them. It just means that, that's just what I naturally do, you know?
Jack, I have a laugh with him.
Yeah, we joke around. We do this all the time. We don't necessarily mean it, but it's a funny thing. That's what we do. It doesn't
You,
necessarily mean. Yeah,
you,
and
Arthur, you have God protecting you, so you wouldn't have no problem.
Oh yeah, that's
and it's not even that. If you're secure with
Same
yourself,
just
if you're secure with your if you're secure with your own sexuality, why would you have an issue with another man flirting with you? I just don't get it. It's perplexing to me.
let's see, because it kind of like bothered me exactly because it's happened to me before years ago. That's why.
So what about it? What about it bother you? Was it borderline molestation or what was it?
No,
Because
it was
that I understand if it's borderline molestation, but if it's not, I don't understand.
And
uh,
let's just say I've had people try and tempt me to flirt with me before. I just have a laugh by it, but I just tell them I'm not like that, and I walk away. That's how I do it.
Yeah, I mean that's natural. That's what you're supposed to do.
well,
Yeah. So, but I want
well,
to hear Arthur's opinion on this one.
well, because I dealt with it a little bit in school, a little bit. It's like long years ago, like a little bit.
So you
And
had another boy who saw you and thought you were cute and wanted to flirt and wanted to, to go out with you or something, or get a mac on or something.
I wasn't like sure like if they was playing with me or they just doing it just fun exactly, but I just didn't like it years ago. So yeah.
Right. Well, I understand why you wouldn't like it because you're not physically turned on by the same sex, and I understand that. But where is this? So you would think that when you talk about you say you don't want gay people near you, I feel that that's some sort of internalized homophobia, don't you think? 'Cause isn't that like what homophobia is?
Well, that's not exactly it. It's just like I don't have a problem with them. Exactly. It's just I don't want to be like what Kevin Eddie said,
No, but homophobia doesn't mean you have. I mean, you do have a problem because you don't want them near you. You don't want them around you because you're afraid they may hit on you. You're afraid of homosexuals hitting on you. So that is homophobia.
okay, oops, my bad.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
So I want to understand from a psychological point of view, what exactly about a male is what you're scared. Why are you scared to have any sort of interactions with someone who likes you for you, like sees you and likes your physicality and wants to maybe engage in like what exactly of the behavior that you're scared of? Are you scared of the act itself, or are you scared of if other people will find out and they shame you for it?
My guess is both. Both, because I was accused of that in school long years ago.
Oh, okay. So you were probably you were shamed and humiliated, and because of people were mocking you because they thought you were gay, right?
Yes.
Well, see, that's an issue because that's right there is what homophobia is. So, in my personal opinion, it's not necessarily the person flirting with you that makes you uncomfortable. It's the
It,
fact that you're scared of other people humiliating you and shaming you and mocking you because you've been degraded and humiliated by homophobic, bigoted people who say a bunch of homophobic shit and tries to belittle you in that sense.
so you,
And
in the way, it's a history like I've had a history with people.
exactly, and it's like rinse, wash, repeat. So now you're exhibiting the same behaviors in order to promote this hyper masculine, sort of heterosexual or secure male, and that's what leads on to homophobia. That's what leads also to discrimination, where gay guys have to be, or bi guys have to just, they have to either blend in, in order to not be discriminated by, or else, some shit's gonna pop off and someone's gonna end up in a body bag. So I mean, that's just what it is. So it also happens because other people just need to stop worrying and judging other people in that field. And I think a lot of it comes from trauma. It comes from acceptance, trying to be accepted by your peers, and the longing for it to be treated like treated good. And I think that's what it is. I think you have a deep level of insecurity that comes from that.
Because I had a
Like,
similar problem when I was a kid. When I was in school, I've been accused of stuff like that. So I know the feeling on it, but
well,
I grew out of it after that because I don't give a damn what they say about me anymore.
Period.
I don't get. I know that it's not true. At the end of the day,
Exactly. And your penis doesn't dictate other people's opinions. Basically, you know what you like. You don't have to validate it with other people to get their approval. You know what you like. What's the issue? If you are like I said, if you are naturally attracted to the opposite sex, nobody is going to change that unless you're not entirely. That's the difference. So if there's some internalized fear that's going on, if you are afraid of something, then what that means is there's something about you that you're not secure with. And that is something that you have to evaluate.
hmm, that does make sense.
and
Completely
in the Christian's perspective, you can use that as a testimony as well.
true. Actually, true. I just never talked about it on my channel. Never even mentioned about it.
I talk about. You don't need to talk about on your channel because thingy. But if you was at church, that's always telling people, and you get other people to believe in what you believe in.
That's true.
That's what God wanted. Spread the word of gospel and your testimony.
Yeah, I could use that as my testimony. I just never thought about it at all. Never thought about it. Period.
I know it's getting off topic for ZTB though, of manhood,
No,
but
you're on topic. You're just stating from a religious standpoint, so I understand.
I'm surprised the Jack and them not here. And Jack
No,
though.
Jack is at work. Jack is probably working. Yeah.
That
oh
explains.
yeah, I forgot he's working. He's got some jobs there.
That
Job.
explains why they're not here. Or
But
call.
my personal thing. Okay, so now we got into that. So let's talk about the whole gay agenda thing. So what is your opinion on the gay agenda?
Well, they've been pushing this, and I done research. They've been pushing this. I think like the early 40s or 50s. They've been pushing this for years, like long years, but especially like in the 70s, and then a little bit to the 80s and 90s.
I wonder. I still wonder how the gay agenda.
So you don't believe that that culture that gay people didn't have, because gay people had a huge aspect towards cultural values, and style and music and everything. I mean, they had a huge hand in the 70s era when it comes to the disco era, and
Hmm.
leading on to the 80s. So if there's an agenda, how is it negatively affecting people?
I did not think on that either. I did not go like that deep, that much. Like I did research, I just didn't go that deep on it, so I didn't think about it. So yeah, that's who. I mean, I originally would have been on this topic, but like I said, I had not thought about it in a long time. Period. It didn't cross my mind.
And do you have any negative deposition towards it, if there is one?
I do know it's like the people in powers who's been controlling this country has been doing this for years now. Now, yes, people can be attracted to the opposite sex. Exactly. You know, there's no denying that. That's constantly been going on for a long time. But they've been pushing this for years, exactly. And I heard back then that if you was, you would have got kicked out, out of school and everything back then, years ago.
Well, in
Long.
the 40s and 50s, could they consider it to be a mental illness? But that's usually because of religious sort of aspect towards it, because they look at religion and they see it, and they said, well, if you're gay, you must be a sodomite, and then you must just not something. They put it in the same category as having some sort of crazy issue with your mind, that your
Mm.
mind isn't wired right, and that's what they'll see it like. So that's in the 50s, and they outlaw that, and they basically banned that in the 60s and 70s, when they officially took that out. I think it was during the late 60s, early 70s, is when they officially declared that as not being a mental illness. And they in America, at least, they removed the ban from homosexuality, and they completely removed it from the uh, the list of mental illnesses, and they completely got rid of it.
That that explains it.
Yeah. So,
Also,
but my thing is, if someone who's naturally inclined, let's say you have a son or a daughter, let's just say you have a son, hypothetically speaking, and you find out your son was watching gay porn, and one day you just could not believe it, and so you just wanted to speak with your child, but you just, your mind could not process why your child would be gay. What would you would do if you find out your child was gay?
uh,
And that's not just by your child telling you. That's just by you digging up and finding out.
but I had a talk with them, actual talk.
Would you love and accept your child?
That part would be hard. That'll be hard to say
What about it will be hard?
because it'll be very, very hard exactly for me to if I'm going to or not exactly on that note.
Because once your child is gay, they can't be straight. And would you want your child to be unhappy on the basis of your approval, or do you want your child to be free on their own terms, because that's just who they naturally are? I mean,
Hmm.
think about it from this. Their penis cannot get erect from vagina. So you're putting them in a world of hurt, because they have to force themselves to essentially be accepted. And how would you like it if you forced their child, like there's this therapy camp called gay conversion therapy, where they take gay people to convert them to being straight. And basically what they do is they do something similar to what the government, the CIA, did with MK Ultra mind control, is where they force people into horrific torture events. With gay people, they force them to basically stimulate through electric shock therapy to like the opposite sex, but it's through torture and through constant pain, and PTSD can come from that. Is how they were able to at least have a stimulation, but through manipulation of the person's body is how they were able to do it. So do you believe that you should force your child to be something that they know they're naturally not, and all for acceptance, for your approval? What do you think?
Like I said, that's a hard one to answer. Uh, it is
We're going there. I want to hear your opinion.
because I can't think of an actual answer. I can't think of one on this one. Mm-mm.
I mean, it's a common answer. Like if you find out your child was, let's say hypothetically you have a child and your child turns out to be gay. Well, like, wow, what would you do? You talk with them, but like, what exactly? If your child said, "Listen, Dad, this is who I am. This is what I am, and I can't change that." What exactly about the aspect is do you see that would you change your child or would you accept your child? Is That's all I'm asking.
I will talk to them exactly, but like it'll be hard for me to what's the word deal with it. That
What's the hard part about dealing with it?
because if they became that, then well, because I'll act differently than if they did. I'll just put it that way.
So you'll treat them like shit?
I treat them like shit. It's just like it'd be hard for me to deal with it in general. Period.
Yeah, but they're not affecting your life. They're not affecting your sexuality. They're being truthful to themselves. I mean, if anything, think about your child as a life. Your child has their own soul. They have their own existence. So because they have those reasons for that, for their own
They
being as a
hope they
human,
become you.
yeah. It's like, do you want your child to have their own individuality, or do you want your child to become a clone of you?
Hello.
Well, I'll just have to let them be themselves. It's like if I don't like it, just have to let them be themselves.
Oh, that's a logical reason. And Kevin just left. I
What?
think he may come back. Yeah, Kevin just left. He may come back. Yeah, I mean that's a logical reason. That's something that you would honestly do to basically be indifferent towards it.
Oh,
But,
definitely.
but my thing is, will you still love your child?
Oh, definitely. Because I'm not the type of parent who actually hate his kids. I'm not that type of
So you
person.
wouldn't kick your child out or anything like that?
Fortunately, no. If I know the world is so hard, like no, I will not do that.
That's a very mature answer. I did not expect that. That's a very interesting answer. It's a big contrast from 2 years ago, from 2018, and so I see that. So that's a very I respect. That's a very good answer. But just letting you know, there
Yes, sir.
has there's a divide between gays and straights, and it's this exact divide that keeps a balance within both each other, and that divide creates conflict. It creates communities where people need like spaces where they can have their own kind of people there, and that divide also separates and segregates other people from people who they want to have them accept or love, or their own parents, their family members. So it's this divide that as people who are trying to be themselves, is that divide that I feel like the other party is not reaching out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Where did Kevin get? He had to go. Where did he go to?
I think he was having some network problems.
Oh well, he kind of reminds me of a certain person I used to hang around with, but I'm not gonna mention their name. Yep, their internet problems.
Yeah, some network problems that he was having. He'll come back. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, like it all depends on how well you can progress and mature from this, and I think that is the most important thing. I think as a community, what we need to do is we need to start, even though we may not support the person's well-being, but we have to promote the love and understanding, because that's the most important key to it.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. I've been through, like I said, I've been through a lot. That's the reason why I don't speak as much online. I've just been doing my own thing. But yeah,
Right,
that's the reason why. Exactly. People
right.
look like, whoa. Well, look at Arthur now. He's changing a lot more. Yes, I am. But I'm on my way.
But I will say this though, the misogyny part is still prevalent.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
It's still a big thing, and it's an issue. So we dismayed the sexual aspect. Now the other aspect is the misogyny aspect. So it's like, okay, why what's your deal with the whole females exposing themselves? Like why does that trigger you so much?
Because they're not acting like actual, women exactly. Not like they, like they become mothers. They're supposed to be acting like mothers, not still doing the same stuff like.
No, I know a lot of moms who love to expose. They just because they're a mom doesn't mean that they have to be stoic and be this leave it to beaver kind of mother. That's the 50s. In this generation, most moms want to feel like their lives are worth it and not confined and confined and constrained to being a housewife. I think most moms want to feel like that they still have that they have their groove on and they want to feel like that despite that they know they have a child, they know they have a husband. But if they decide to just go on Instagram and show their nice outfits and buy nice clothing, I mean, like, I don't see what's the harm of that.
Uh, it's just, mm, race. Like the reason why I'm still against it because like I said, I'm like, what's the word? Old fashioned. But yes, I get this generation how it is, but I'm still like old fashioned.
So when you want a wife to just be stoic, always in the house cooking or cleaning, and that's it. Is that what you see in a wife? Or
I
do
mean,
you want or do you want your wife to just, be free but be loyal?
she can go out, Zach. It's just don't be doing like crazy stuff, or stuff like that. How the women that would I be seeing today, what they be doing, you know.
And another personal opinion I have, do you feel that same way towards, or actually a question, do you feel the same way towards the men? Like, what about the men who do? What about the husbands who basically go out shirtless and take pictures of themselves, doing a whole bunch of other stuff like posing with other women, or just basically just out there half naked?
They should be doing that. It's like I'm sorry, if you're married, you should not be doing that type of stuff. Like it's okay to hang around people and stuff and have fun and all that, but don't sit there be doing that when you know you're married. Like, come on, you know, straight up, you know, like straight up, they should be doing that type of stuff. You're married now. Like if you're single, that's fine, but if you're married, no, no. Like you should have boundaries of with the cross. Do not cross. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. I would love to see you tackle the male aspect because I feel like there's always just a female aspect towards your criticism, and it's never the male aspect that gets the criticism. It's the first time I'm hearing you talk about the male aspect towards it.
Oh yeah, I'm hard. I'm actually hard on both. It's not just one. I'm hard on both of them. Yeah, because like I get it both.
Yeah,
I used to go at one, but now I just go at both.
yeah, but you can't be biased like that because as you as a guy, you have to also target your own sex with when it comes down to that. If there's scrutiny, if you want an equal balance or equilibrium of both, you must target both because by targeting one, it really sparks out what we refer to as misogyny.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, yeah, I get on both cases, not just one, because I need to make it. What the heck? Are you freaking kidding me? Wow, somebody just dislike it. Wow, wow, really?
Yes. Thanks to the views, though.
Yeah, somebody dislike your stream. Um,
It's
wow.
probably it's probably it's probably it's probably I mentioned this before. The person who got Arthur who got on this stream, he got on it because he saw the stream and he decided to get on here. This is just again another video that we're doing about a topic that I listen. This is not a friendship basis. This is not anything of that magnitude. This is just I want to have an open forum where people can come in here, discuss the topic on manhood and see what other people think. And, if they have a certain topic, they can come in here and they can say whatever they have to say. And that's that on that. If people have another topic they can talk about, that's it. Anyone and anybody is welcome. Even the people I don't like is welcome. Pete, I don't like Pete, but Pete is welcome to come in here. If Pete has something to say, he can say it, because with this channel, it's not a drama based channel and it's not a hate channel. It's a channel where other people can share their perspectives and opinions, and they can say what they have to say, and they can discuss and see what exactly do they have when it comes to the topic at hand. And that's all I ask. That's just what this channel is. This is not a communion channel or a friendship channel. It's not that. It's kind of like the Dave Rubin show, which I don't even like the guy, but it's kind of like that. It's like where people come, or the Jeff, or what's not, is it Jeff Logan, or the Joe Rogan show, when the people invite other people from opposing opinions, and they clearly, the person you may not favor upon, you may not see the person as being wanted, or the content. This is why I segregate, and I divide the content. So my gaming content is one thing, and this channel will be dedicated to an open forum. So even the people I don't like and don't respect can have they can say what they have to say, because I'm not going to block them. I'm not going to do all the other stuff like I did before, because I actually want to hear their personal opinion, and also for exploitation reasons as well. So they can be free to say what they have to say, but also be other free to have other people challenge their opinions and call them out on it. So that's what it is. That's what this forum is about. So I'm just calling it what it is and saying it, what
Oh yeah.
I'm intended to do.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
No, exactly.
you get the second dislike, you big deal.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
they're free to dislike it. It's okay. It's great.
it just makes your channel grow. They done it to me, so it's no different. They done it to everybody's channel, so no
Like
different.
like I mentioned before, everyone here, like I said, you don't have to be friends. It's all about matter of coming together and having a personal discussion on the topic, that other people have opposing views and opinions on. So I just wanted, that's all I wanted to hear, and that's every topic I do in this on this channel will be an open based forum video. And I think that's what I want. That's why it's always live. It's not like posts or edited. It's all live, and that's what it is.
Well, yeah, because I invited people to my channel. Exactly, they didn't. We didn't agree on all that stuff, but we talked about that important subject. Yeah, but of course, the other two people they had an issue with it. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Those two people you mentioned about exactly, they ain't want nothing to do with us. They don't even want to
And
do
they're
it.
two, and like I said, them two are welcome. I'm going to say who they are. Pete and Dennis, you're welcome to come to this stream. We're not, like I said, the only person here who's my friend here is Kevin. And Kevin, like I said, we're all welcome to have Pete and Dennis here to say what they have to say about a topic like this. I mean, I'm not going to burn any bridges and hold any grudges. I'm just going to say I don't like you. I don't like respect you as a person, but I would love to hear your opinion on a topic like this.
Oh,
It's what it is.
well, yeah, yeah. But the thing is, like, no, they're not going to. They
I
knew.
know, but if they're watching, or if someone else watching they don't like it, well, I mean, like I said, it's an open forum. This whole channel is based off of um, people perspectives and their varying degree of opinions, where we can actually see and try to understand each other as humans, and why we have these perceptions and behaviors towards other issues. And I think this is why I wanted to do this channel. This is why I deleted all the content, because I wanted to do a fresh start. I didn't want it to be a troll account. I wanted to be an expression account where we can, share other opinions. That's the whole intent.
Yeah. Oops, sorry about that. I just unplugged my PS3 controller. It kept on making noises.
Well, on that note, I think we pretty much covered each and every one of our opinions. If other people who watch this video have other questions, or they have other statements or testimonies that they want to say in the comment section, you're free to do so. If you disagree with one of us, you can say what you have to say. You're also free to join other streams. Okay, everyone else is a free forum. This is not this. Remember, this is not a friendship gather forum. This is not what it seems. This is exactly what it is. It's an open forum. Even my haters, which I have one here, and we're going to invite more. Pete and Dennis, you can be free to come and join in, and you can have your opinion on a topic that I may discuss. We'll all be here. We'll all be waiting, and that's just what it is, and that's just how it is.
Definitely. People are invited to come to mine exactly. They want to have if I talk about a certain topic, like straight
Uh,
up.
Yeah, well, it's called being a mature and adult, and if that's just what it is. I appreciate the dislikes though, because it's honesty, and that's like what I was looking for
They
actually.
removed it. They removed the dislikes.
YouTube removed it.
They remove it.
Yes.
It fluctuates. That's what it is. That's what it is.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause yeah. Well, like I said, if anybody has any responses they want to make in the comment section, they're free, or the live chat, they're free to do so. But on this note, I'm going to end the stream because it's been over an hour. And I think we had covered our discussion and topics and our different opinions. And other people can comment on the comment section. And then if they want to have ideas for another topic and they want to have other people come on there and say what they have to say, then that'd be good because I actually want this to grow bigger and bigger and bigger and invite more people with varying opinions. So that's why I intend to. So on this note, this is ZTB is fucking here, and you guys can say your all cues to end it off.
Dragon's Knight V3, later Dragon Alliance. Dragon Alliance. Get some mess up. Dragon Knight Homies Family. Jeez, I don't know why I mess up on my intro. I never do that. Oops. Oh well.
I'm Kevin Daddy. Shoot, yeah.
Shoo yeah, brother man, and you are free. Shoo yeah, to come and say what you have to say, and it's be all good and dandy. I already unblock all of you, so you guys can say what you have to say, and if I'm not gonna troll you anymore, but I will use my logic and intuition in order to question your statement. So on that note, sayonara, bitches.
Bye bye.
Later.